Hello, everybody. I'm Coach Craig Jones. Very excited to have you here. Welcome to my live training on a complete health transformation. I'm very excited to have you here with me tonight to go over this material. I got a lot for you to learn. You're going to love the information, and it's going to change your life. So I will be talking to you about how I will help you personalize your health transformation without you having to do years and years of research like I did. So I'm going to take that workout for you. It's going to be streamlined and very simple for you. Very exciting stuff. So what we will cover today, tip number 1, how this program helps you create new and lasting habits. That's very important. We all know that habits, make us who we are. So this is just a very important part of the program, and I got some great ideas and tips on how to do that. Also, tip number 2, how to overcome the feeling that you are too out of shape and don't know where to start. So we're going to help you get past that obstacle and past that myth. So also, tip number 3, my exact strategy on how to start losing weight, avoid distractions, and schedule time to change your habits. Great stuff here. So very excited to be sharing this with you. And, lots of material we're going to cover here today. And just stick with me. It's going to be about 30, 45 minutes of information at the end. I'll be able to go through some of your comments, and maybe we'll get a couple questions in. So also, I want to tell you who this program is for. So it's for professional men who are having some success, but have plateaued and don't know how to reach their target weight. It's for busy parents who are struggling with work-life balance and finding enough time to live a healthier lifestyle. It's for professional women who are struggling to have enough energy once they get home from the office to spend quality time with their families. It's for busy moms who are out of ideas after trying the gym and all the diets, but can't seem to find something that works long term. It's for men who are tired of not being held accountable and need help staying motivated. It's for both men and women who are wanting a life-altering health transformation, but haven't figured out how to achieve it yet. So, to do a little bit of housekeeping here, I want you to turn off your notifications and pay close attention, because this information will literally change your life. I want you to take notes. I want you to stay till the end, because I have a free checklist that I'm going to share with you. And also we'll share with you how you can personally work with me to help you implement what I will show you today. All right, so a little bit about me, a little bit about my story. I'm going to get started on this. I'm going to tell you a lot of stories today. Hopefully they're interesting stories to you, and I keep your attention. But this is a little bit about Coach Craig Jones. So growing up, I played all the sports. I loved it. Played every sport that was offered in my hometown, Batesville, Arkansas. It was my passion. I spent tons and tons of time playing, practicing, and competing. I was lucky enough later on to go play some college football, and I learned how to exercise at a very high level. So that was very interesting, and I learned how to push my body to heights that you couldn't even imagine. I couldn't even imagine. Over the years, I got out of shape, and I ballooned up to 350 pounds. That was way too much for me to carry. About 4 years ago, I decided I'd had enough and began doing research on how to lose weight and get healthy. 1.5 years to 2 years later, I reached my original target weight of 240 pounds. You're sitting there at 350 pounds. And I was talking to my friends and telling them, hey, I'm going to get down to 240. They just couldn't believe it. They're like, no way you're going to get down that low. And a little side story, I had weighed 240 pounds since I was in 10th grade. So that was a very big stretch goal. But once I found out the recipe, I was able to get there. But I still had a couple more challenges in the wake, as you will see, that I had to overcome. I felt better, but I was still feeling tired and sluggish at times until I discovered the secret of raising my energy level about a year and a half ago. These days, my energy level is through the roof, and I enjoy all the benefits of it. I love being active and healthy, and I love teaching and training people to be better than they are. Now listen to that. I love teaching people to be better than they are. I love taking somebody from here to here. I like taking somebody from here to here. And I also have the capability of taking somebody that's way up here already to the sky. It's just something I'm good at. It's something I'm passionate about. It is my passion. I love health. I love being active. I love sports. And I love teaching people. And I get to do all this on this program. It's awesome. So I have over 20 years of experience teaching and training people. You may say, Corey, how did you gain that much experience? And where did it come from? So my college degree was an industrial engineering degree. And I went to work after that 20 years ago as an industrial engineer in manufacturing plants. My job is, or here's industrial engineering in a nutshell. It's the interaction of people and machines and the processes to get something built. All right. I was in charge of setting up the processes and making sure that the people that worked in the plant understood the process and could interact with the machine to build the product efficiently and productively. And that took a lot of teaching and training, took a lot of working with people, trial and error. So I spent the first 10 years of my career doing that as an industrial engineer and a production manager. After that, I became a program manager about 10 years ago. And that took me to the next level of training people. I had a large group of people that helped me launch new products into the plant. So I was not only training people how to be on a production level of understanding, but also people in the office, people in the corporate office, people in the purchasing department. So all across the board, all different kinds of people. I used to give presentations to the bigwigs at GM. That was my customer for many years. I would go talk to their VPs and general managers whenever we had a problem. If we sent them up, we never had to go talk to those people unless we had a problem, right? So I would go in front of them, explain our solutions, and I would teach them what we were going to do to solve the problems. I also used to give presentations to the CEOs of my camp companies I worked for. So I had to kind of teach them quickly how to get up to speed on my program so that they could make informed decisions. So I have lots of experience teaching and training people, and I definitely will be effective with you. All you got to do is follow the program. Very simple stuff. So the next thing I want to talk to you about was my struggles. Yes, I had many struggles getting to the point where I have this figured out. So, I tried many diets that didn't work for me. Was up and down, would lose 20 pounds and gain 30 back. It was just one of those crazy things that happens to all of us. I don't know why you gain back 30 pounds when you lose 20. Actually, I do know, because we've tricked our bodies usually into losing 20 pounds, and it gets into panic mode, and then it wants to start. The body gains weight and uses weight to protect you, to make you healthy. That's how we've evolved as humans. That's what our body does. It's its job. And there's a key thing to that you'll see later, that you're not supposed to lose weight. You're supposed to reduce acidity. That's the key to losing weight and being healthy. But anyway, moving on. So struggles. I was lazy. Who hasn't been guilty of that from time to time? Also, I blamed others for my obesity. But you must learn to blame yourself, really. And once you own your own faults and you own your own mistakes, it empowers you to be the one that's going to fix it. That's the beauty of it. You can fix these things if you admit that you're the problem. If you don't admit you're the problem, you can't fix it. Nobody else is going to fix it for you. They may feel sorry for you that you weigh a lot of whatever you weigh. or they may feel sorry for you. You don't have the energy, but they're not going to make you do anything. They're not your mama, and they're not your head football coach. So I didn't make time for me also. That was another struggle I had in both exercise and also to be in thought alone, or prayer or meditation, whatever you want to call it. It's very important. You know, the exercise thing, that's an obvious one. We all know that we need to exercise. We all know it's better to exercise. But it's also important every single day, at least 5 days a week, to be able to go sit down alone, even if it's only 20 or 30 minutes, and be in thought alone, so that you can quiet your mind and you can have a conversation with yourself or a conversation with God. It's an amazing thing. So I also didn't minimize distractions. I didn't mitigate distractions. And I took on too many new distractions. There's lots of temptations out there in the world. And you've got to learn how to minimize these things. And when you get rid of one, don't introduce a new one. Keep it going. Keep your life simple as possible. At least until you get into a place where you're balanced and you have, and I'm not saying you can't have any fun. And I think the misconception out there with lots of people is that, oh my God, I got to be healthy. I can't, all the good stuff in life I won't be able to enjoy it. I'll tell you what, there is no food that tastes so good as feeling good feels. All right. Feeling good is much better because you can enjoy so many more things. Like I told you, that canoeing trip story, going for walks with my daughter, riding bikes with my daughters. You know, it's just, there's so many more advantages to being healthy than not. Lastly, on my struggles, I had some bad habits like many people. I used to smoke. I used to drink alcohol too consistently. I'm not saying don't drink any, but try to keep it at a minimum, you know. Do it on special occasions. Do it when you're with friends. Do it every once in a while. You know, I fell into the trap of having a drink or two sometimes, you know, every day when I got home from work. Not many. I did one or two, but that's just, it's an acidic thing. Smoking is acidic for your body. Drinking is acidic for your body. You got to steer clear of it as much as possible. Smoking, I don't even do that in some. You know, smoking's terrible. We should all quit smoking if you smoke. And it's hard, you know. I used to do it, and it was good when I did it. I liked it, but it is definitely not good for your body. I also overindulged when I ate meals. I was pretty good at sticking to eating 3 meals. I wasn't a grazer. But man, when I would eat, sometimes I'd get two helpings, 2 plates. And that's just, you got to steer clear of that. You know, actually, you don't have to once you start eating right. If you're eating all green vegetables, you can eat till you get full. You just got to chew. You got to chew your food until you can swallow it like a liquid. You got to drink your food and chew your liquids, which is one of my rules that you have to learn to live by. And it's the old adage, it's whatever you want to call it. When you chew up your foods all the way and you swallow it, and you eat reasonable amounts, reasonable bites, you give your stomach time, you give your brain and your nerve endings time to tell you you're full. That's why you can eat till you're full when you eat right. So, but it has to be alkaline, it has to be green vegetables mostly, and we'll get to that. That's in my material, so that's an advantage. All right, so how I overcame the struggles. I overcame my struggles inefficiently, mind you. I was not very efficient. So like I said, I've done all the research and I've done all the studying for you. My program streamlines the best way for you to overcome your struggles. But here's how I did it. The first step for me 4 years ago was discipline. I decided I was going to start eating fewer calories. Luckily, I got lucky, because not always eating fewer calories is the key. Sometimes your body thinks you're starving it and it holds on to the pounds. But I got lucky. I did cut out bread and pasta when I also started eating fewer calories. And in place of that, I started eating about 50 to 60% green vegetables at the time. So my plate was about 50 or 60% green vegetables, a meat, sometimes a potato or maybe 2 vegetables. Sometimes I actually did eat 80% green veggies, but usually I had a potato in there. which also luckily I was eating a lot of red potatoes, which is one of the best. If you're going to eat potatoes, red potatoes, the new red potatoes, the ones that are small, because once they get older, they're aged and they get a little bit of fungus on there. You don't want that. You can clean them and everything. I'm not saying that you're going to die, but it's definitely better if they're new, younger. Fungus is bad. So luckily, I was eating about 50 or 60% green vegetables with my fewer calories, which after a amount of time, my metabolism kicked in. So I lost a significant amount of weight, and I felt good enough to start exercising at that time. It took me about a year or so, but I got down initially to like 270 and I plateaued. And then when I started exercising, along that same time, I also learned about balancing your body chemistry and keeping your pH balance at 7.35 to 7.45. That's the ideal range. So once I learned that, and coupled with exercising, and I already had some momentum going with weight loss at that point, I got over the hump and got the rest of the way to my goal. So then I figured out my diet needed to be mostly alkaline, like I said. Also got into the habit of exercising 5 days a week. And you know what that does when you're exercising, you got to exercise until you sweat. Sometimes people do exercises that are way too easy. They don't break a sweat. You're not really doing yourself any favors. You got to sweat out the metabolic acid. So you got to work out till you sweat. What I like to say is you got to sweat until you're wet. All right. If you do that, you're getting out a lot of acidic toxins from your body. And there's 4 things that get rid of this, toxins, these things out of your body. And it's urination, fornication, defecation, sorry, and perspiration and respiration. Those are the 4 things that get rid of the acidity in your body and allow you to get into that alkaline state that you got to be in. So just kind of to recap how I overcame struggles: discipline, eliminate distractions, emotional maturity. That kind of goes along with the thought, like I was talking about being alone, but there's more to it. You've got to get yourself into an emotionally mature state. Because if you don't, when you go through life, and I've read a bunch of books about this too. That's why I talk about mind, body, soul, and spirit. It's a balanced thing. We're not just getting your body healthy. We're not just getting your mind healthy. We're getting the whole thing healthy. The whole package. It's a package deal. And it starts with your body, but it also expands out into your mind and your soul. And then you can be filled up with spirit. So being emotionally mature, I read this book years ago, and there's 4 archetypes for men. And it's the king, warrior, lover, and magician. The king is kind of the manager of the life. Magician was the creative guy. Lover was obviously your loving relationships. And then king, lover, magician, warrior. Warrior was, we all have problems in our life, and you have to take them on as a warrior sometimes. But all 4 of these archetypes have a mature side to them and an immature side. If you are stuck in an immature magician, immature being creative, you might do things that will cause you to be sidetracked in your life. Or as a king, if you're an immature king, maybe all the other ones are good, but you don't know how to manage them all together. If you're emotionally immature, you're going to do things, you're going to make decisions on your daily whatever, with your job or with your spouse or with your children, that are eventually going to come at you when you don't expect it, and it's going to sidetrack you, and you're going to miss a workout, you're going to binge eat a thing of ice cream. I'm just telling you, you got to be emotionally mature. So you incorporate that with prayer, learning how to say no. That's another big thing. You got to learn how to be mature and say no when it's time to say no. Also, you got to learn how to say yes to the right things. I'll talk to you about in my program how you can cheat a little bit. You can If you eat really good, you can go out and have a bowl of ice cream with every once in a while. But here's when you say yes to that. When you and your daughters want to go spend some time together, say you go bike riding or something. And then afterwards they say, "Hey Dad, can we go get some ice cream?" That's a moment where you can say yes. You can go sit down with them at the ice cream parlor and get you a nice big ice cream, get a banana split. Don't get a little ice cream cone from McDonald's. Those are nasty anyway. So you go get you a nice banana split. You sit down, you have some laughs. You talk about the bike trail and what you did just now, and you have a good time, and you kind of cap it off with a nice little treat. So that's the time. You got to save those times. You got to save those yeses. And you should say yes sometimes. So what life looks like for me now. So. Canoeing trip. Last year, me and my daughters went on a canoeing trip on the Buffalo River in Arkansas. Great trip. All three of us. My oldest daughter's 17. My youngest daughter's 10. She was actually 9 at the time, turned 10 shortly after that. But my oldest, Mackenzie, had the kayak, and me and Whitney were in a canoe. Right off the bat, we're in a half a mile into a 10-mile canoe trip. We did the longest one. I was confident about that, because I was in much better shape and had lots of energy. And we always took the long trip when I was a kid. We loved that stuff. So we took the long trip right off the bat. Mackenzie dumps over about a half mile in, and me and Whitney were way down the river ahead of her. And she filled up her kayak with water, and it got too heavy. She couldn't turn it back over by herself. I was like 300 yards away. So I had to walk up this gravel bar, which kind of was steep kind of had a bit of a slope to it. And the gravel on it was huge chunks of rocks. And I had boat shoes on, but they're real thin soles, and the footing on those type of gravel bars and those shoes is not good. It's not easy to walk in. But I'm going to go take care of my daughter, right? So I walked about 300 yards. It was, it was August in Arkansas, so it was in the 90s. And, back 4 years ago, that would have zapped most of my energy for the day. I'd have been worn out. I may have been a little bit emotionally immature because I was tired and worn out. Maybe I would have got upset with her, which would have been inappropriate. And, maybe would have partially ruined the trip right off the bat. But that wasn't the case. I felt good, had lots of energy. By the time I got there, we joked around about it. Together, we took out all the stuff. We had all the cool little water protection stuff. Our phones were in the cases that were sealed up and zipped and everything. And, all of our stuff that needed to be protected was in Ziploc baggies and all that stuff. So I took the stuff out, dumped the canoe over, laughed about it. And then I took an easy little float back down the river, just kind of, swimming down to my boat about 300 yards away. So Whitney was sitting there, got back in, did the trip, had a great time. About halfway down the trip, there was some cliffs that we stopped at for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Spent a lot of time there, going up and down this cliff that was 20, 30 feet tall, climbing and jumping. And when you jumped in, you had to swim in some current. So it was a little bit of exercise. It wasn't real easy. Again, 4 years ago, no way I would have done it that many times. So we did that several times. Whitney actually got the courage up and did it herself. I was kind of worried about her going across that current and stuff, and being able to maneuver and go in, jump in at the right time when boats coming down, because they were going right by. But I got to where I actually got into the water and stayed close just in case she needed my help. So when she jumped in that first time, I could get right over to her. Again, this is all stuff that I never would have felt like doing 4 years ago. But we had a great time, made lots of great memories. And that's the type of stuff that I get to do now. Also, my life looks like this. I eat like a king for breakfast. You're going to hear me talk about this in the program. So you eat your best meal in the morning. That's when you need your most energy and nutrients for the day. You feed your brain, you feed your body, and you eat a really great breakfast. And you eat like a prince for lunch. So you still eat good food, but just a little bit less of it. And then you eat like a pauper for dinner. And what I do for dinner usually, during the week especially, is I'll drink a green juice. And green juice to me tastes so, so good. You train your body, you train your taste buds, you train your brain, and your body gets to the point where it knows that this is really good for you. And it tastes good because of it. So, man, it really just caps off the day. I mean, sometimes if I'll go out and spend a weekend having fun with some old friends or something, and maybe we ate some pizza and had a hamburger and drink a couple too many beers, I don't know. I know that I can come back on a Monday and do this and eat like a king for breakfast and eat like a prince for lunch and eat like a pauper for dinner. Maybe even Monday and Tuesday, eat like a pauper on all three meals. But boom, I'm right back in the game. I got my alkalinity is perfect. My body's balanced. So I can go and enjoy some times like that where I cheat, maybe a little bit too much, but I've got my body in a state where I can just bounce right back. I know how to do it. So then I also have, so one of my hobbies now is exercising. I've always liked it. Back when I was younger and I played sports and stuff, I actually enjoyed exercising. Not all my teammates did, but that was something I really liked to do. When I first started exercising, after I lost a significant amount of weight, I did this one challenge where I was going to get to the point where I could do 100 push-ups and 300 body weight squats in one workout. And I was able to do that. I started off really slow. I would do some stretching first, and then I would do about 10 or 15 push-ups, and then always triple the amount of squats I did. So I'd do 30 to 45 to start off with, and then over the weeks, I just built up to the point where I could reach my goal. And also during that workout, I had a rubber band that I bought at a garage sale, like one of those big bands that have handles on it from Gold's Gym, and I would work out my biceps and triceps. These days, I go to the gym 5 days per week, except for now that we're quarantined. Lately with COVID-19, I've been doing some home workouts, and I've done a lot of videos of that. You've probably seen some of them on my Facebook page. Also, my life these days, another new hobby I've got going on that my daughters and I do together, we go mountain biking a lot. And this is great fun. You know, we're able to get out there and spend several hours on the bikes and going up and down the trails. And it's just a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it. Another hobby I have these days, I've always loved to play golf, but my stomach doesn't get in the way anymore. You know, I'm able to look down and my putter's in air. It's not leaning against my stomach. But, and also I'm not tired on the back nine. You know, I'm able to hit the ball on the 16th hole just as good as I did on the 4th hole. So that's pretty awesome. All right. So I want to share with you some examples of people that also believe in this lifestyle. So Tom Brady, you probably know who Tom Brady is. And they actually have deemed what he does the Tom Brady diet. So he blends the principles of the alkaline diet, which is what I promote, with the Mediterranean and the anti-inflammatory diets, and emphasizes organic, locally grown, seasonal, and minimally processed foods. I advocate no processed foods, but hey, it works for him. He's doing what he's doing. About 80% of this diet consists of originally grown fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and legumes. All good stuff, as long as you choose the right fruits. I will say that. You do want to and it kind of depends on what stage you are in the process, you know, where your body at. And we'll go over your current state when you come into the program, and I will help you figure out what your diet should look like in the beginning and once we get into it a little further. Also, another thing about Tom Brady, he's 42 years old now, and he will be 43 years old in August, still performing at a very high level. You know, if you look at the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL right now today, you're still going to hear Tom Brady as one of those guys mentioned. And that's just absolutely amazing at that age that he's still playing at that high level. And it's because he knows how to treat his body right. He knows how to be healthy. He knows how to get his body in the right state. Some more examples about people that are doing these lifestyle changes. They call it the anti-aging diet, the alkaline diet that I'm talking about here. So they call it the anti-aging diet. So several celebrities have bought into this way of life, such as Jennifer Aniston, Gwyneth Paltrow, Kate Hudson, and Giselle, Tom Brady's wife. These celebrities have seen the benefit of incorporating the 70-30 or 80-20 rule in their life. And that's one of the things, if you watch my videos that I talk to you about, it's a part of my program as well. So stick around till the end of this training. I will tell you how to get the free checklist that includes what foods are acidic and what foods are alkaline, the ones that I suggest that are going to work for you. All right, so secret number one, or tip number one, how this program helps you create new and lasting habits. All right, so I had an epiphany a little while back. I had an epiphany or a wake-up call, whatever you want to call it, about a year and a half ago. So my wife and I separated about a year and a half ago. And I blame myself, like most of us do. I found a good relationship book. It was How to Be a 3% Man by Coach Corey Wayne. It's a great book. Anybody that's struggling with their relationships, it's written for men, but it actually works for women too, because they can understand men better. And Corey is all about helping people understand relationships. So I read that book. And while I was reading that book, there was something that I learned that I didn't know. It's proven that the human brain only retains 7 to 10% of what it reads. So if you truly want to master something, and this is meaning master something, take it to the level where you want to own the material, where you could teach the material. You got to read it 10 to 15 times. I was very motivated at the time to do this. So I read that book 17 times. At first I wanted to use the material to fix things. Then I realized I wasn't very happy myself in the marriage. After I spent time reflecting, and the decision was made to move on. I sent her love, she sent me love, and we decided to get a divorce. It was what was best. In the book, Corey spoke a lot about the 80-20 rule and about green juicing. He actually had a video about making a green juice from scratch. So it led me to do some more investigation, and it helped me to better understand some things I was beginning to understand at that time. I was already in much better shape, but sometimes still felt a bit sluggish. That is when it all came together for me. I also discovered the work of Dr. Robert Young on pH balancing. I also read, I was doing a lot of reading back then. I was just trying to soak in as much information as I could. That's how I am. When I get into a mode where I want to make some changes, I dig deep, and I'm just going to flood myself with information, and several great things stuck. I also read a book on How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I'm sure you've probably heard of it, maybe you've read it, but I read that book 15 times because I'm a professional, I'm an entrepreneur, and I just love the type of things it was teaching. But what I found was from that book, the things that I learned about dealing with people and being more emotionally mature. It was another one. It had a lot of things about that in there, about how to balance your life better. And when you deal with people in the right way, how things don't come back to you in a negative way. It doesn't get you sidetracked. You're able to be more even-keeled. You're able to be in a better state of mind. So, understanding relationships, all the information I learned about eating better and finally incorporating exercise in my life. I learned how to make a schedule and stick to it. And I learned how to eliminate distractions in my life and keep them at a minimum. and be present in every relationship I had with everybody. And it just transformed me into what I am today. So that was my epiphany. Also, at the same time, when I was going through the divorce, I leaned on my church a little bit, or quite a bit actually. And I went through this thing called 21 Days of Prayer. And Pastor Chris at Church of the Highlands in Birmingham, he has a booklet that I would definitely wouldn't mind sharing with anybody that wants it. Just taught me how to pray better. I mean, I always grew up in church, going to church and talking to God. I always felt like I had a great relationship, but learning how to pray better and just, it all clicked for me. Mind, body, soul, and spirit. It all came together all at the same time. And now I'm able to share this with you. So I'm extremely excited about this. I can't wait for you to join so that we can work on these things together. It's amazing. It'll change your life. So another story, got lots of stories for you today. The past holiday season, this past November, December, I picked up 15 pounds, all right? So I got up to 255 pounds. I wasn't too worried about it. By then, I knew the formula to get back on track. So starting on January 2nd, I did the Daniel fast, which is no meat, no sweets, no bread. It's a great fast. There's so many things you can do within that fast of meals that I can teach you how to prepare. But it's a very good thing, especially coming out of the holiday season like that, to get your new year on the right track. Also, at that time, I did the Pure Planet Parasitical Cleanse, which cleanses your colon. And in just 3 weeks, after I started those two things on January 2nd, I was back down to 240 pounds. And just felt amazing. When I did the Parasitical Cleanse, the very first week during that, my energy level was 10 times greater than it's ever been. Not kidding. I mean, I could totally feel a difference in my body because the parasites, they rob you of the nutrients that you're supposed to be getting. It's an amazing thing. I can do an hour-long lesson, 2-hour-long lesson on that alone. So join my program and I'll tell you all about it. So after just, like I said, just after 1 week, I was feeling great. And I did those things in conjunction with each other for the first 10 weeks of this year. And I mean, I swear by it. Come on in and I'll show you how you can do it too. All right, so some common myths about creating new and lasting habits. You may think I am too lazy to get healthy, but actually it's not a problem because I will provide you with a proven system for your success. The truth is, I will hold you accountable and help motivate you. Also, you may think, I don't know what kind of foods to eat. But actually, it's not a problem because this will be provided for you in the program. All the foods that you should eat that are good foods for your diet will be provided to you. And the truth is, I will personalize your health transformation program to fit you alone. It'll be completely personalized for you. All right, so another myth that's out there. You may think there is a lack of access to good quality organic foods, but actually it's not a problem at all. More and more stores are carrying these types of foods all the time. The truth is, I will help you with meal planning and shopping tips to help you along the way. All right, so tip number 2, how to overcome the feeling that you are too out of shape and don't know where to start. All right, so another story I got for you. Had another epiphany here. I didn't know where to start. I knew I had to do something when my blood sugar was creeping over 100, which means I was entering diabetes back 4 years ago. At the time, I made a calorie intake goal of 1,500 calories per day. Now, with my program, you don't really have to count calories. But back then, like I told you, I was inefficient the way I went through to lose my weight, but I eventually figured out what the right way to do it was. So this is what I did. I targeted 1,500 calories. And I stuck to this pretty good for 5 or 6 days per week, which is also another thing I kind of lucked into. When I did cheat, I made sure to keep my calories down to 2,500 calories or less. That's another key thing as well, that you want to abide by the 80-20 rule. So therefore, if you do cheat, you're still doing it within reason, right? So I would have the occasional slice of pizza or some ice cream, or, I was pretty good about it though. I didn't overindulge. I cut out fast food and processed foods. This was a big key to turning it all around for me. As I said before, I accidentally ate more green vegetables at the time, but my mistakes will be your gains. The first 90 days of my program, you will see major improvements in your life. Heck, the first few weeks, you will start to have more energy and feel better if you follow the program. So, I kind of lucked into this. Then actually, once I went through the thing I went through with my relationship, I found some information that I was already kind of implementing, and man, it really just took me to the next level. It was amazing. All right, so some myths about this tip I was talking to you about, about overcoming the feeling that you're too out of shape and that you don't know where to start. So you may think, I am way too out of shape to improve my health, but actually it's not a problem, because I will help you make the right decisions based on my proven system that works. The truth is, you already are eating and drinking, but you're eating and drinking the wrong things. And I will teach you what the right things are to eat and drink. All right, a little drink of water here. So you may think, I don't know where to start. But actually, it's not a problem, because the first 90 days are already planned out for you in my program. And the truth is, we just have to sit down together and put it into your schedule. Another myth that's out there, you may think, I have tried everything and nothing works for me. But actually, that's not a problem either. If you stick to this program, I guarantee you will see positive results. The truth is, I will teach you how to eat and drink right. I will hold you accountable on your exercise plan, and I will help motivate you to reach your goals. All right, so tip number 3, my exact strategy on how to start losing weight, avoid distractions, and schedule time to change your habits. So another story. All right, so I used to let my circumstances dictate how I felt and what I would do. That led me to being 350 pounds and borderline diabetic. I was in my early 40s and still had a lot of life to live, and so many more things I wanted to do, but I had no energy to do it. These pains drove me to discipline myself and start eating better. That is all it took. I barely even ever exercised. I mean, I'm telling you, I went from 350 pounds to 270 pounds without doing a lick of exercise. So I don't want to hear about you don't have time, I can't do this, I can't do that, because you're already doing the stuff that is required to lose weight. You just have to get your body back into balance. Now, exercising does help you sweat out acidity, so it's going to help you along in the process quicker. So I'm not saying don't exercise, but I did the first 80 pounds without it. So there you go. So like I have said before, I accidentally ate mostly green vegetables. I knew they were good. I knew they were good for me, but I didn't understand pH balancing at the time like I do now. I was able to overcome time, distractions, and people trying to hold me back, and I will help you do the same thing. All right, some more myths about this one. You may think, I don't have enough time to start losing weight, but actually it's not a problem because we don't want you to lose weight. We want you to lose acid. The truth is your body puts on weight to protect itself. Most diets try to trick the body into losing weight, but in the long run, it doesn't work. You actually reduce weight by reducing your acid loads, by changing what you eat and changing your lifestyle. My program provides you with a complete health transformation. Another one, you may think, I can't get my spouse on board to change our habits, but actually it's not a problem because you're already spending time doing the wrong things. You just need to replace that time with doing the right things. The truth is you already eat, drink, and shop, but you are doing it wrong. And this program will correct that bad behavior. All right, one more myth. You may think, I don't have enough extra money to invest in my health, but it's actually not a problem because think of how much money and time you already spend going to the doctor. The truth is you and your family will go to the doctor less and spend less on medications and other expenses related to poor health. Give me 1 year and I will not only change your life, but I will teach you how to change your entire family's lives forever. So, what we have covered today. Tip number 1, how this program helps you create new lasting habits. Tip number 2, how to overcome the feeling that you are too out of shape and don't know where to start. Tip number 3, my exact strategy on how to start losing weight, avoid distractions, and schedule time to change your habits. All right. So, which of these things are most exciting to take action on? Which of these things are you most excited to take action on right away? Tell me in the comments which ones that you're just really excited about, the one that you want to ask about. So shoot me a little comment down below and we will get a conversation going. So you have the power to go out and take action on what you just learned and get results. For those that are ready, thank you so much for attending. And I am rooting for your success. For those that want to skip over the trial and error and get the help from someone who knows exactly how, stay with me because your solution has arrived. I want to introduce to you the Complete Health Transformation Program. The program promises to teach you how to balance the pH in your body. We are all alkaline by design, and all functions of the body are acidifying. The body functions create metabolic acid that make us sick, tired, and fat. I will teach you what the right foods are to eat. I will teach you how to get your body in the alkaline state it wants to be in. This is done by eating and drinking correctly. Also, I will teach you that you need to exercise and sweat until you are wet, because sweating is one of the 4 channels of elimination. You will learn that the 4 channels of elimination must be kept open, because this is how you get rid of the acidic waste from your body. It helps to maintain the proper pH balance. So benefits from the program include: stop eating fast food and train your brain and taste buds to have no desire for it. Craft exercise routines specific to you and your current state that will fit in your schedule. Implement eating strategies that will improve your metabolism. education on how to lead a healthy lifestyle by cleansing your body from the inside out, losing weight by changing your lifestyle, which includes eating to live, not living to eat. So yeah, I'm just so excited that I'm able to bring this information to you guys. It's just amazing, and I really look forward to working with you. Some more features that the program will provide: group coaching calls with personalized hot seats with me weekly, live training and Q&A with me weekly, personal accountability coach for weekly check-ins and monthly one-on-one calls, private student networking community. So that's going to be great. I love group learning, where all the other members of the program, we're going to be together in these meetings, and you'll get to listen to them tell their stories, and it'll make you think of things that you didn't think of. It's just a really great, awesome benefit that we have here. Feature. Library of step-by-step trainings, workbooks, checklists, templates, all the systems that you're going to need to be successful, and access to all my materials and trainings. So we are not accepting everyone. So comment health in the comments, and I will personally message you, and we can talk about if it's the right fit. So again, who this program is for: professional men who are having some success but don't know how to reach their target weight. It's also for busy parents who are struggling with work-life balance, professional women who are struggling to have enough energy once they get home to spend quality time with their family. It's for busy moms who are out of ideas after trying the gym and all the diets, but can't seem to find something that works long-term. It's for men who are tired of not being held accountable and need help staying motivated. It's for both men and women who are wanting a life-altering health transformation, but haven't figured out how to achieve it yet. So again, we're not accepting everyone, but if you want to be considered, drop health down in the comments, and I will personally message you, and we can talk about if it's the right fit. As promised today, I'm providing a checklist of acidic foods and alkaline foods if you comment checklist below. So please drop that in if you want that list, and I will get that out to you promptly. So here we are, we're wrapping it up. If y'all want to type in some comments, a question or something, I would be glad to take that on right now. So I'll give you a few seconds to enter those in. Again, it's been a pleasure to talk with you all today while you're typing up your questions and comments. I will just kind of wrap it up here, but again, like I said before, we're not accepting everybody. So if you want to be involved, comment health in the comments, and I'll personally message you so we can see if you're the right fit. Everybody. So if you want to be involved. All right. Well, if your questions come in later, I will answer those in this post. But thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure talking with you. I look forward to possibly working with you more in the future. So have a great night. Peace out.